Hello, everybody. If you dropped, I'm stoked. This is pretty much the first time going through it. A lot of this probably won't be a shock. I know there is one big shocker coming. A conversation last night. I knew. Well, you know what? I'm gonna get right to the thing. There's a how's it going, Josh? Jacob, join the Discord. Get in the chat. I don't like doing these long. There's a good chance I'm gonna misinterpret something when I read because that's the way I work. How's it going, Darren? Yeah, no, I tell Darren. I've been awake for about 30 minutes. I woke up, open up my phone, go away to Warhammer community, like boom. All right, we gotta go live. Stormbolter, how's it going, brother? I won't beat around the bush. Guess what? I was dead ass wrong about drilled. You could use it like crazy. We'll get to that. We're gonna go over all of these one at a time. Oh, deck nail member for 11 months and a rock jock. Haven't caught a stream in a while. I'm still working on my Warriors of Chaos army. Ooh, buddy. Can't join the call because I'm stuck. Yeah, fair enough, brother. How's it going, Spoons? Spoons! Freya, how's it going? Decknell, get that army painted, brother. Let's go. Get painting. I basically just woke up. Drill does seem a little crazy. Hey, if that's the intent, there's I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to play it, and drilled OP, but drilled might be OP, but no, let's not call it. I'm not gonna. I was in the camp that it should not work. I was in the camp that I think rules as written it didn't work. I'm wrong. Okay, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But now that it does work, I'm gonna play it and try it and see if how it is, and I'm gonna reserve judgment and play it proper. Like, how's it going, Oliver? Phoenix Guard and Dragon Princes can be drilled. There's only one issue with the drilled, which I hope they've addressed in this FAQ. Again, this is my first time reading. But I suspected they did. And unfortunately, how do I turn off notifications? Obviously, my Discord's blowing up. It's covering up my chat. Are there really powerful units that can drill? I'm pretty sure Chaos Knights can. Dragon Princes can. A lot of units. A lot more units can drill than you think. Johnny Payne, how's it going, brother? Hey, if you're working from home, Johnny Payne, feel free to join the chat. Anybody wants to join in the voice chat, let me know. Oh. What up, brother? You're on. Just be careful, you're live.
Sounds good.
Okay, give me one. Okay, sorry, I just jumped right into this. I gotta turn off notifications. Jacob, how's it going, my brother? How does one... problem solved. Drilled OP? Who knows? Drilled is a rule where it allows you to redress the ranks before a move. And then it was hotly debated, and there was two camps, and they vigorously fought each other, that you can't use drilled before charging and a bunch of other things, and some say you could, and the side that said you could, they were right. And I was on the opposite side. I was wrong. Let's just say, hey, sometimes I'm wrong, but at least I'm gonna admit it. All right, let's get to this FAQ. That's what we're here for. Jacob, I can't hear you.
I haven't said anything. That's why.
Oh, fair. That's a good reason why I can't hear you then. Let's adjust audio.
I don't need to upstage your waffling about your day so far.
Fair. All right, FAQ. We got a 1.1. If you are gonna hit me up in the chat, hit at mountainminiaturesgaming, so I know you're talking to me. It's gonna be very easy to miss sometimes. Okay, combat result bonus, page 101. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try. Probably should have brought a rule book with me. Whilst in combat order, oh, yes, we're chat. I gotta stop for that. Sorry, everybody. Nothing was said about line hammer. Does that mean it's working as intended? I'm not gonna speak to answer that, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this FAQ was worked off of a lot of the first impression types. Not first impression. Like this was worked on a while ago. No, I don't know. You know, I have no answer to that. I just don't think Linehammer's that big a deal. Now, with drilled being as loose as it is, there's more potential for Linehammer. My big case for Linehammer not being that big a deal was drilled wasn't a factor. But yeah, you're correct about allies. Beautiful. Glad I was right about that.
I have a core rulebook PDF available.
Beautiful. I have it too, but oh, actually, I have it open right here. Actually, let me just line up these PDFs. Close a bunch of these PDFs that I don't need until Sunday.
I think they did do some edits to all the PDF factions, as well as there's an FAQ for Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes as well.
I did not notice that. Okay, we'll definitely look into that. Cormac.
Including such great changes as the steam tank cannon does not fire 360, only front arc.
Yeah, that's how I would have played it. Cormac already been over 32 months. Really glad to see the legacy factions getting updated. Even if there's only minor changes. Random move is not clarified is disappointing unless I missed it. I believe there is something about random move in this FAQ. My understanding is there will be. I did not know there was. So I literally woke up, saw the FAQ, didn't know there was stuff about the other PDF stuff. Jumped in the shower, set the stream, didn't even eat, came right here. So we're going to do this, and then I will jump into the legacy stuff as well. Today is my paint day, and we're going to have me switch off paint day for this. And Luca, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be working on your Middle Earth right now, but we have to do the stream. Okay, combat result bonus on page 101. Whilst in combat order, a close order formation with a unit strength of 5 or more may claim a rank bonus of +1 combat result. Oh, beautiful. Oh, interesting. So no more needing 2 models. I'm going to assume, unless they write it somewhere else in this FAQ, and then no reason to expect it, that lumbering will still ignore. Oh! Lumbering says a single model, right? Not, I'm talking about unit strength. I'm going to continue reading this as assuming lumbering still works on monsters, gaining +1 combat result. Oh, wait.
Yeah, so everything's based on unit strength now.
They're monsters, yeah. Yeah, that was brain fart. Thank you. You're right, good point. Is there a monster with less than 5 unit strength that had lumbering? I don't think so. Heavy casualties during the... we're going to only go over the new stuff, obviously, page 161. If during any single phase other than the combat phase, a unit loses more than a quarter of its models contained at the start of the phase, it must take a panic check. That's an errata? Isn't that just the way... That's the way I was playing it. I don't know anything different about that one. By all means, point out if you know something different about that one in the chat, guys. Chariot runners, friendly models whose true type is chariot, can draw a line of sight over or through models with this special rule and can move through friendly units if they're in skirmish formation. And if the majority of the models... Oh, we're talking about majority of the models. That's all I'm talking about here. So, unchanged for chariot runners. But let's say you have a character in a unit of chariot runners. I guess you can still move through them. Sorry, I meant random direction. Oh, Cormac, you're right. Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. I'm aware that's not in this FAQ. And again, nobody has to play it that way. That's the way we're going to play it. Evasive. I'll just skim it real quick. Okay, just once per turn. Nothing to talk about evasive. Again, if I skim something and you think I missed something, but I was pulling back on it, nothing to talk about with evasive. Spoons, yes, neither. I'm off the caffeine again.
Are quiet in Discord.
Say that again?
Chat is saying that those of us in Discord are quiet.
You know what? I adjusted my audio to... I don't know if I can make you guys even louder.
Not a problem with me, just letting you know.
Jacob, can you boost your output a little bit? Josh, can you say something for me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, you're probably good now. Jacob, if you can boost your output, that would be appreciated.
Testing.
Sound better. You sound a little distant, but not bad.
That's possible. I don't have my nice mic.
You don't sound bad, my dude. You're real good. Page 176, random movement. When a model with this special rule moves, roll the dice to determine its maximum movement. Oh! Wait a minute. Did I just read this? That, like, let's say
Yes, you can move up to your dice roll.
interesting. That's going to make some things even more powerful.
They do clarify random movement and charging later, though.
Beautiful.
That's going to make it a lot easier to keep your line with those random movers, which is great.
Interesting. That just made a couple of orc things really, 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 really powerful. Like the character on the cave squig is already really damn good, and the what's that called? The mangler squig is criminally undercosted. Like, I'm an orc player, they're overpowered. Those two units I'm talking about. Reserve move. Oh, talk about majority of the models reserve move. Nothing to talk about there. A unit consists entirely of Swift Stride. Okay, so no longer can you put a character on a horse, join an infantry unit, and give it Swift Stride. I don't believe anybody seriously was playing that way to abuse that. But that solves that problem. Magic weapon, the Berserker Blade. The character counts. The model counts as frenzied. Great. Bedazzling Helm. Models whose troop. Oh, okay, so the Bedazzling Helm is a magic item that gives you +1 armor save and -1 to hit. They made it for infantry and cav only. Was that a problem? Must have been. That means no dragons that are -1 to hit.
Dragon combo.
Yeah, but I mean, is that worse than is that worse than the Tomb King's Armor of Ages?
They address that later.
Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna do this. All right, so Bedazzling Helm is infantry or cavalry, not even chariots, eh? Sure. It's a little. I'm not gonna. Okay, my gut says it's a little too expensive for just infantry, but it's still damn good for cav. Page 344. Page 1 of the quick reference sheet. Oh, okay. So there was a discrepancy in the spelling rules under the quick reference sheet, which is actually this thing had it printed differently than in the rule book. So we're just clarifying that to the way I believe that we were all playing it. FAQs, general principle. If I mark the position of a unit, then proceed to move it before putting it back where it was and moving it again, does this count as a take back? Yes, absolutely. I'm not playing that way. Does anybody have a problem with that? Is that just me and Luca?
I think they're just addressing tournament.
Oh, fair. Do you know how hard it is to figure out if you can? That means you have to make decisions about marching or moving before you know if you can or cannot do it. I believe right here, this FAQ is going to cause fights at events, right?
Possibly.
No, you know what? I'm not. You know what? We have a good community. It's not going to happen.
The event just puts in the packet that you're allowed to take back a unit once or whatever.
Yeah, because you're gonna have people like, oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna be outside that wheel by a quarter, whatever. Like, jeez. Just came online. Have you seen the Lance FAQ? Hate to say, I was right all along. What was your position, Killgun? I haven't got to the Lance thing, but my understanding is the FAQ was not meant to change it. So you're supposed to use Lances after fall back in good order.
Yes.
I can't remember where your position was, Killgun. I'm sorry, dude. What's the next one? How do close order units of just one model act? Is it still a close order formation, or does it act like a skirmisher? Close order. Oh, yeah. So that's the way we've been playing it. I actually was originally playing them like skirmishers when they get down to a single model. Then didn't even realize that. Like that's just a bias from a previous edition. But yeah, no, I've been playing it that way for a bit. I think most of us have been, but it's good that they addressed it. I still can't hear the other guy. Jacob, boost yourself to your absolute maximum.
Yeah, give me a second.
You sound clear to me. You're just quiet to them. Lance can be used fall back and go to provided you didn't use hand weapons before the pursuit. Yeah, that's that's how it was before the last FAQ. And my understanding from a conversation last night, that's where they intended it. It just the FAQ muddied it. Again, like I said, nobody has to when I was talking about that FAQ, I said nobody has to play it that way. Rules as written, it's one thing. Rules as even I was in the camp as rules as intended. You probably should. No, rules intended you're supposed to, but I started playing games where I wasn't because I always take the negative just to be safe. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of I actually kind of like this better, but I'm happy to go back to the way it's supposed to be, right?
Is this better?
No, you're still quiet as all hell. I'll just repeat what you say.
Sorry.
Where are we? Does a unit count as being obscured with when some of the models within the unit are behind others? Come on.
Yeah, I didn't really catch this. It's kind of like confusing the way they worded it.
I understand this. Because I immediately go to how to okay. So you have a unit of skirmishers. Half of the skirmishers are obscure because they're in two lines basically. Half of them are obscuring the other half of them. Because when you fire at a unit in a close order formation, open order formation, um, cover is determined by the frontage of the unit. Well, skirmishers, the whole unit is the front, right? So technically, you could argue that like half of them are giving cover to the other half, thus the unit gets cover.
I see.
But that's hilarious. But if you try to pull that on somebody, I commend you for trying that. If a wizard has a magic item or special rule that allows them to reroll a failed casting roll, can they roll off a natural double one to avoid a miscast? If a wizard has a magic item or special rule that allows them to reroll a failed casting roll, no, a natural double one isn't merely a failed casting roll, it's a miscast. Interesting.
I like this a lot. I like that change a lot, actually.
Interesting. I'm a high elf player. I hate that. No, I'm kidding. Interesting. Sure. You roll that double one, you take that double one.
Yeah, I think like a miscast is supposed to be so terrible, right? To be able to re-roll a catastrophic failure seems kind of silly to me. So this I really like.
Yeah, me too. Can a wizard with a physical attribute that counts as a type of armor, such as Treatment Ancient, Boreal Armor, and make casting spell rolls? Yes. Okay, yeah. This is what I was playing it. Was anybody playing otherwise? My interpretation was a wizard wearing armor can't cast spells. These things like the Troll Hag, the Treatment Ancient, they have a special rule that counts as. So I was playing it like you could still cast.
Yeah, it's kind of like a natural armor they're wearing, right?
Yeah. I was always playing it that way, but I'm glad they clarified it. Can a unit that rallies or reforms during the rally flee unit's subphase and move during the movement phase? Yeah, okay. So this is one that I talked to. Well, never mind. Sorry, guys. I just woke up. Still getting fresh here. Okay, so it can be read both ways in the rule book. I was in the camp that rules as written you couldn't move after rallying. Doesn't matter why I think that. Okay, I can throw a bunch of pages at you. But it was intended that you could, if it was clear, you can move after rallying. Can a unit move while locked in combat? Why is that an FAQ?
I can only imagine what some shenanigans players were trying to pull.
Yeah. Kilgun, I actually have an answer to why that's not in this FAQ. So, I never brought this up in the movie, the stupidity thing, because I was waiting for an FAQ to see if they addressed it directly. But rules is written for stupidity. You do a normal move, and when a normal, I can't remember the exact wording of how this works. I ran this down. I'm 100% certain on it. It says when you do the move, it's up to your amount of movement. So I'm after reading the random move FAQ on this, I am 100% certain that if you fail stupidity, you may choose to move 0, and that is the intent, and that's how I'm going to handle it going forward. Remember to at me if you want me to read it. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you guys are talking to each other in chat.
I think they do address stupidity movement later in this.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I can't remember. Sir.
Jacob says they might address it, so we'll get to that. Does a unit that has declared a charge due to being frenzied or impetuous have to do so if a friendly unit of skirmishers lies between it and potential charge target, obstructing movement? If there's a chance of skirmisher moving so that they are no longer an obstruction, If they declare a charge, for example, yes. Otherwise, no. Oh, I see. Basically, there's no change to the rules there. Did I cover the random movement yet, Tom? No, not yet. I'm going in order. So we're still on page 2. Although it cannot make a... Oh, another question. Although it can make a charge move, a unit in the marching column can declare a charge. Why is this? I think this... Yes, this is the answer. Okay. There are several reasons. Firstly, a drilled unit that declares a charge while it's in marching column can freely redress the ranks to adopt a combat order after determining its charge range. But before moving, this allowing it to make a charge move. If I had a hat here, I would eat it. Actually, good. If you're talking about the stupidity thing, I don't think that matters. It's just a regular move in the compulsory phase. It's a matter of when you do it, not what it is, right? So you're talking about when you do it, not what it is. So yeah, there you go. Drilled is meant to be used while charging. And I believe if we're going to talk about it later on in this book, on fall back in good order, on everything, every kind of move you can drilled, every type of move is my understanding. Secondly, units that are obligated to declare charges for certain circumstances, frenzied or impetuous, for example, must do so even whilst in marching column. If they cannot make the charge move, they don't move at all, and the charges fail. Oh wait, this prevents marching column being used. This prevents marching column being used to avoid declaring compulsory charges. Beautiful, spot on for addressing that. Alternatively, there might be psychological advantage to declaring a charge in marching column, for example. The unit might cause terror. And then charging... they want that to be a thing? Fine, sure. You can, if you have terror, you can go into a marching column. Okay, those are an item I can think about that's actually pretty good for the high elves. That's going to be... Okay. So you can go into a marching column, declare charges at units just to force terror checks that you don't have to move off of. And that's intended. Okay. If a drilled unit is in a marching column, has to declare a charge due to frenzy or impetuous, can it choose not to use a drill to redress the ranks and adopt combat order? Luke and I were talking about this one. Before I read the answer, we were going to rule that, yes, you have to you redress the ranks. And let's see if we would have been right. If it is able to redress the ranks, if there's space, a unit that is obligated to charge must endeavor to make a... Okay, good. Good, at least we're not turning off frenzy and impetuous with the drilled. Or, sorry, marching column. If you want to charge an enemy unit that's a charge target... Wait, if you want to charge an enemy unit that's a large target with a unit of mine that is in the front dark, for example, but cannot because enemy unit is engaged in his front dark, can I instead charge his flanks? No. I don't even believe anybody would ever make that argument. So that one there is talking about you can see the large target while it's in combat with your friends. Can you declare a charge even though you can't get into their arc and go around? Dawi drilled was the only fair drill charge. Hey, Steve just had to comment I was right about lances. Yeah. Well, again, yes. Well, I'll wait till how they address it. Was a few minutes behind, but the reason they had to FAQ not being able to move while in combat is because the rules never stated that you couldn't just walk out of combat. Yeah, no, I get that. That's why I laugh. So even last night, every night I'm replying to emails from it's pretty much new players trying to understand the basics of the basic questions, and it's the new players that ask questions like that. I'm like, oh, I never would have thought about that interaction you're talking about because I played the game for 30 years. Like, oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't say that you can't do stuff like walk out of combat. And if you're new to the game, it's your first time ever playing an edition, like these are things that, oh, why can't I? So an impetuous unit in marching column would be forced to declare a charge, and then it would just sit without moving unless they had drilled that would allow... Yes! So, Space Pup, do not, if you have impetuous, do not go into marching column without drilled, or you can get locked into an infinite loop of being forced to declare charges and never moving. And I'm going to thank, how's it going, Startcast? I'm going to thank Val, I can't say your Val. I'm gonna thank Val from Square
Al
Base.
Hufflefinger?
Thank you. He pointed out in a Discord conversation I was in yesterday, or was watching yesterday. I didn't even think about that.
I think a lot of the questions are coming from people coming over from 8th Ed and onward 40K.
Yep.
Where
Yep.
a lot of the stuff has been very well defined.
Well, I can tell by some of the questions I get from emails that this person is new to the old world. This is their first ever edition, but they play 10th edition 40K. Because it's the way, yeah.
Like the question about, you know, move and shoot, let me cast a fireball, even though
exactly. That's were you there for that? It was a Discord conversation, right?
Yeah.
That's a prime example.
You're treating it like the assault keyword in 10th, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yep.
Any how you get there makes sense.
Yeah. Any clarity on stupidity? I believe someone will get there. Proxy average stopped me hearing your words of wisdom. Sorry, Dan Brooks. Is there a buzzing? Does anybody else hear a buzzing? Scott Warren, the pink ones are new. Stuff that's black is the previous iteration of the FAQ. So we're only reading the pink questions because they're new ones. Where are we at next? We're on next column. Question: some chariots are equipped with large-scale missile weapons, such as bolt throwers. Who shoots such weapons? The crew, the beast, the missed weapons mounted on. So how to? Yeah. I believe this is because the Stegatron for the Lizardman, the Stegadon for the Lizardman has a big crossbow, but the mount has Bliss Skill 0, but the how to rule says the crew fires it. Combat. Models in the fighting rank that are killed before they have a chance to fight cannot, but can a model make a supporting attack if the model in the front rank is slain? So before I read the question or the answer, my interpretation of this was yes. So, well, let's do the answer before I even make my argument. Yeah. Oh, yes. If they have not been killed, models able to make a supporting attack can do so as normal. In other words, casualties inflicted reduce firstly the number of models in the fighting rank that are able to fight. Secondly, the number of models that are in supporting rank that are able to fight. So I thought this was going to be about if you're corner to corner with the enemy and your supporting rank is all spears. GT. We're gonna make it happen, Scardy. How many attacks can a model with a split profile make if it's the... So, just first, Scardy and I are going to do a GT for the old world. It's looking like summer. There's a lot of work to go in. We'll announce plenty in advance. How many attacks can a model with a split profile make? How many attacks can a model with a split profile make if it is the fighting rank but not in base contact with the enemy? A model with a split profile consists of one model, but not a model with a split profile consists of not one model but several, all sharing the same base. That's the exact opposite of my interpretation. There's another one that I'm wrong on. Therefore, each model on that base could have a single attack. In the case of a cavalry model, for example, this would be one attack from the rider, one from their mount.
All the horses in the front rank get to
Demigriffs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what that also means?
Only one attack.
You know what that also means? My ruling on the laurels of victory for the Empire is now wrong.
They address that.
Oh. Good. But it's a model.
Yep. Don't ask questions.
Fair point, brother. Fair point. Don't ask questions. Can a close order unit of just one model claim the close order combat result bonus? Yes, provided it has a unit strength of 5 or more, as per errata page 1. As mentioned previously, a close order unit is just one model that's still close. So is there any model? Is there any model that just gained combat result bonus? Did anything have unit strength 5 that didn't have lumbering? I can't think of anything. Not that it matters.
Maybe. If there is, it's 1 or 2 models.
What does it mean when the question's blue?
It's a change.
It's
I
an
think.
errata.
Ah, okay. If a unit loses a round of combat that either gives ground or falls back in good order, and can it choose to use a different weapon the next turn if the enemy makes a follow-up or pursue? No, even though the units separate momentarily, they remain locked in place and engage in the ongoing combat once the follow-up or pursue has been made. In other words, because the combat is ongoing, neither unit is able to swap weapon for another. What's the errata there?
It's not. So blue's not errata. I think it's just an update to a previous
Yeah,
question that was
It's
there.
an update to a previous question that they answered.
What are we to read on this?
Let me see if I can pull up the original. 1 second.
King on Shield Bearers? Is he... Great Eagles don't have unit strength 5. They're only... I think they're 3 wounds.
What section are we in?
Oh, Gauge, that's right. It removes the lance, discarding broken lance or whatever. Okay, yeah, Son, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's just removing it removes the parentheses where discarding a broken lance or spear. That's all it does.
Right.
So I'll expand upon this. This doesn't change what I believe would like you can still argue that a unit using a lance is not supposed to use it after pursuing a unit that fell back in good order with this wording. That's as of today, I'm gonna go back to using lances that my understanding is you're supposed to keep using lances.
So it addresses that kind of in the next little bit. You'll see.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Challenges. If a wizard engages in a challenge knows and uses an assailment spell that hits multiple enemy models, such as an assailment spell that uses a template, are multiple enemy models hit, or is it just the other participant in the challenge that can be hit? When the assailment spell is used in a challenge, it can only hit the other participant in the challenge. Yeah, I don't like that, but I don't like assailment spells. I think they're all kind of not great. And having a unit champion challenge an enemy, like a lone wizard or whatever, just to like absorb the entire template. I think assailment spells are already not great. But okay. If a participant in a challenge causes impact hits or makes stomp attacks, where are they directed? They are directed against the participant in the challenge. Interesting. So if you have a character on a chariot and you issue a challenge, you're taking all those impact hits. Tolcash. Seems they stealth updated the legacy armies as well. Check out the Fellblade and explain how it works now, please. Fair enough. We'll get to that. Tolcash. If one participant in a challenge causes impact hits or makes stomp attacks... Oh, I just read that one. If one participant in a challenge is killed, can other models engage in the same kind of direct their attacks against the survivor during the combat phase when it's their turn to fight? No. We don't have to go any farther than that. Bone Grinder doesn't have Love Ring. What's the Bone Grinder? Oh, that's the big giant.
Tomb King's giant.
It's the what? Sorry, say it again.
I think it's the Tomb King's giant.
No, isn't that giant Orc and Goblin one?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And that book just came out, so they knew this FAQ would be dropping before most people were... Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Does the Armorbane X special rule apply to spells cast by a model with a special rule, such as assailment spells, magic missiles, or magical vortices? Oh, they said vortexes. All right, we'll say vortexes then. No. Cool. Oh, do they address what a weapon is in the book?
I don't remember.
So, like, if a model has Armorbane... Let's say a Pegasus has Armorbane... Pegasus will give Armorbane 1. Do their stomp attacks benefit from the Armorbane?
No, they do address that.
Okay. You know, I'm going to stop asking questions until I get through it.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Hey, Victor Gabriel, that wasn't an AOS giant. That was originally a Forge World giant for Warhammer Fantasy. The AOS players are supposed to call it the Fantasy giant. Can a drilled unit redress the ranks before giving ground? Yes, a unit that gives ground is not a fleeting unit. That's wild to me, but I'm down for it. It could be awesome. I honestly, guys, I did not expect that, and I'm all here for it. It'll be awesome. Mr. Fishpins, the Empire Mace does not work with Doppelganger. Eat it, Crockers. Slan is now monstrous creature, not monstrous infantry. No more skirmish. It also can't be protected by warriors. Ugh. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. It's gonna be very easy to get distracted here. Do effects that modify models' movement characteristics also modify how far a model with the fly X special rule can fly? Ooh, I'm glad the answer to this. Yes, if a model has fly X special rule, the number given in the brackets essentially is a second movement characteristic. Any effect that modifies one will modify both. So there's a spell that gives you +1 movement if you have fly 10. Now you're fly 11. I'm glad that they addressed that. Can a model with two versions of fly X, oh good. Can a model with two versions of fly X special rule combine both to fly further? No. A model that has more than one version of fly X special rules essentially has two movement characteristics. This is an errata because all special rule X combine and fly is a special rule X. So I'm glad they ruled it this way though. Because there was a thing, it was a vampire on foot who bought the magic carpet, the flying carpet with, it gives him fly 8, and then bought the winged whore upgrade, it gives him like fly 7 or something like that. Technically, rules is written, it would combine. But now no.
Jeez.
But nobody's gonna do that. Well, if a unit with Frenzy or Impetuous has two movement characteristics, for example, wait, did I just read that one? No, I did not. If a unit with Frenzy or Impetuous has two movement characteristics, for example, also has Fly, does it have to use the greater when determining if it must declare a charge? If it's able to use the greater, then yes. Yeah, it makes sense. That's how I would have played it. I think that's how most people would have played it anyway. If a unit is subject to Frenzy, becomes subject to Frenzy again, does it get +2 attacks? No. Fair, of course. Can a unit with a random movement special rule move around or past enemy units out of one arc and into another before making contact with the enemy unit? No. Really? Well, the unit must move. While the unit must move randomly, do not declare charges. If you wish to move into base contact with the enemy unit, it must fulfill the same criteria. Oh, okay. So they must, if they're going to go into contact with somebody, they must go the closest route. I love that ruling. I love that. That's good. I have personally abused that. I had a not squig hopper. I had a goblin, that goblin character on a great cave squig roll really high in his random movement, was able to move all the way around an enemy and charge their rear. I'm like, this kind of does not feel great. And you know what? Lucas says this a lot, and I'll give him some credit. If you give him credit, if your gut says it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right.
That probably applies to more than just wargaming.
Hey, I'm here talking about to live. This means Impetuous and Fly, you can't block that unit anymore. Yeah, well, that's how I always would have played it, Tom, but that's fair. It's good that they clarified it. Not that it matters the way I would have played it. I guess we all need answers here. As a professional great cave squig abuser, I proved that I cannot do this anymore. Mountain Miniatures, 100%, brother, 100%. How far does a unit with random movement special rule move when giving ground? All units move 2 and giving ground. I got this. This is a question that I get. It's up there. Probably one of the most asked questions I get in emails. I answered this to 2 different people last night alone. No, it's just 2 guys. Wait, I actually do say, I'm pretty sure it's just 2. I understand the argument. Some people were saying random movement always moves the random movement characteristic even when giving ground. I'm like, I guess you could make that argument, but I don't think that's the intent. So that's why I've been saying just 2.
This is the correct answer, but it's not as funny.
Can 2 regeneration saves be combined together to improve armor values? No. Yeah, that one is... this one had to be asked because there was a bias from Warhammer Armies Project where they would combine. Even my mindset was, yeah, they combine because that's how it did work in Armies Project. But when you look at it objectively, no, they don't because they're set values, right? Mm-hmm. Unit with stupidity special rule fails its leadership check. How long is it stupid for? Units with stupidity in each turn. Wait, units test for stupidity in each turn of their Man, the print is small. Units test for stupidity in each of their start of turn subphases. Blah blah blah. Okay, nothing there. A unit of skirmishers succumbs to stupidity. In which direction do they move? Ooh, that's a good question. They should continue moving in the general direction they moved in the previous turn. Okay, I like that. if they did not move in the previous turn towards the nearest enemy unit. Ooh, okay. I love clear answers. Swift Strides enables a model to move further than a charging move. Swift Stride enables a model to move further during a charge move than its maximum possible charge range. Why is this? Because models with a special rule delight in running down towers to flee from a charge. Fair. Yep, Brian. Drilled can charge. Drilled can do everything. A character mounted on a ridden monster or chariot can choose to use its own or their mount's armor value, whichever is better. If the character wears magic armor, but I choose to use the mount's armor value, can I still claim the other benefits conferred by the magic armor? No, you must use the item fully or not. Oh, okay. Okay, fair. If a character mounted on a ridden... You say something?
That addresses the Tomb King's reroll wounds. You can't use the magic item that forces your opponent to reroll wounds against you and the dragon's armor.
Oh, you would just take the crappy 6-up armor.
Right. If you want to make them reroll wounds, you have to take your 6-up armor.
Which is, you can do it every time, I think. If a character mounted on a ridden monster or chariot carries a shield, does it improve the mount's armor value? No. Yeah. Armor of Agents has used a bit of a nerf, though. It's okay. If a warband character joins a unit that isn't a warband, does the unit's rank bonus modify their leadership characteristic? No. Why not? Why would it not?
I think there's somebody was asking, like, if the character, even though the character doesn't have warband, the unit does, and he's now part of the unit, so he gets it vicariously.
Yeah, I think in a previous rules chat you had before, this was like,
Yeah.
you guys dived into this before.
I'm not saying it's a good argument. I'm just saying I understand how you get there.
Let me just I'll be 2 seconds on this. I'll move on. We're not here to like argue the FAQ. I'm just trying to figure out maybe if I just had a misinterpretation of the rule. Why was my search not working? Unless the warband gains a positive modifier to its leadership characteristics current rank bonus. Yeah, why would it not work? Where was it? A warband character joins a unit that is not warband. Yeah, all right. It's not okay. It's not meant to work.
Wait, is it?
So what does it really affect? I don't know if it affects much. It affects the Bretonnian sergeant and peasant bowman. Does it affect anything else in the game?
You're misreading this. If a character that has warband joins a unit that doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not misreading it.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm tracking. I was assuming it was a character that didn't have. I was misreading it. I was assuming a character that didn't have warband joined a warband unit.
The cursor says the same thing in the rulebook. Note that unless a character also has a special rule, their leadership cannot be modified by the special rule. No, it does not. The italics here do not say that at all.
It's what they wanted, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just pointing out something in combat. Oh, Bestigors. Good point, Miss Fancy. Right, that's another one. So Beast Lords and Bestigors. Some magic weapons and special rules allow specific models within a unit to be targeted. Do such attacks ignore lookouts or rule? No. Sure.
Can't snipe characters out of units.
Do special rules conferred by a model's weapon apply to attacks made by the model's mount? No, I don't have to go any farther on this. Such as rules conferred. Do I have to read any further? Yeah, I don't have to read any further on that. Some monsters have weapons with notes that state they must make or choose to make one attack or additional attack with this weapon. Can they make more than one attack with this weapon? No. Good. So no 5 attack decapitating blow. What's that model called? Necrosphinx?
Necrosphinx. Yeah. They specifically address that in the Ravening Horde book FAQ as well.
Okay, good. When can a model use a lance? During a turn in which it charged or counts as having... Oh, perfect! Thursday! Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Right back to the way we've been playing it for 3 months. Now I have battle reports coming up where I'm like, I'll just take the negative, guys. I'm not sure the answer. You should refer to that just in case, such as assailment or strike first. Well, I figured if there's something like that, I need to read sudden. Somebody would point it out, and I'll go back to it. But is there something I need to go back to sudden? Can a missile weapon be used in combat? I mean, technically, I can use my handgun as a hand weapon, right?
Yeah, I don't see how this one came up. But
When you read cannon target area, can you guess whether ruling also applies to Skaven warplaning cannon? It would be a shame if can't fry my own rats. Oh no. No, I hope you can fry your own rats.
I don't believe you can.
Can a cannon... Oh, it's right here. It's the next one. Can a cannon be shot in a way as to hit an enemy unit that's engaged in combat with a friendly unit? No. I'm sad.
We all are.
I will allow any Skaven player that wants to warp lightning my guys in combat, as long as it hits some of their clan rats, I'll allow it for the funds. Not at the GT though, because their FAQ says no. Warhammer armies. If my opponent and I have agreed to play 2,000 points game, but my army is not exactly 2,000 points, it's 1997, for example. Can I take 2? How many times is this asked that they had to put the... Can I take 2 or something limited at 0.1 per 1,000 points? Or the armor competition I'm using? Yes. The warplating cannon is not a cannon? Well, it's in the title, warplating cannon.
Oh, let's not get back on this again.
What? Come on, rules debates are fun.
It is part of the hobby.
It is part of the hobby. For a lot of people, it's the entire hobby. People like Tolkash, for example. I'm sorry, brother. I don't know why I like picking on you.
Because he has a memorable name.
Yeah, it's true, actually. No, we actually did it. You want to know why I pick on Tolkash? Because he had the balls to come on Discord and debate his position verbally with me in a live stream, and I respect that immensely. Not everybody is willing to do that. Warplating cannon rule says you can fire through your own units. Just hit everything on the... Oh, perfect, Victor. There you go. Excellent.
You know,
My ruling...
A warplating cannon is not a cannon.
Stop it. Stop it. But you're right.
Yeah, it's science and lightning. And
It's
stuff.
science! Does ally contingent have to be... Oh, good. Does an ally contingent have to abide by the restrictions given by the army composition list as draw from? Yes, perfect.
He was right.
I was right. I wasn't 100% sure I was right on that one, but I thought I was. Well, it was more like that was the best prediction I think you can come up with. I was hoping that was the intent, more than me being right.
Nah, we all know you just wanted to be right.
I always want to be right, but I wish I could always actually be right. I do my best. I do my best.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I try to argue what I think is right, not what benefits me or my armies.
I try to argue what's fun.
Well, there's that too. How's it going, Alex? If a unit with earthen ramparts has been cast to, I can't say obligate, to declare a charge, the unit's frenzy, for example, must it do so even if it can't make a charge mode? Earthen ramparts does not prevent a unit from declaring a charge, preventing it from charging. In other words, yes, the unit must declare a charge if obliged to do so. However, because the unit cannot charge, it does not move it. See, here's... This is not relevant, but I'm going to say this. I like the intent here. I don't like the way it's worded. I would, geez, how do I put this? You could argue that, nah, it doesn't matter. The outcome, I believe, is a positive outcome. Does the new lance clarification mean that flails cannot get their +2 strength even after making a charge? Does that mean that? Okay, so Demon Ace, I believe you can now argue that that's correct, but I'm not sure whether if they intend for lances to be used again, I would say it's safe to assume that the flails would get +2 strength again.
I disagree on that.
Oh no! All right, hit it up. Explain.
The reason why is because lances say on any turn that they charge or counts as a charge. A pursuit counts as charge. It doesn't say about the first
Okay.
round of combat, whereas the flails specifically say in the first round of combat they get +2 strength, and then the fall back in good order or give ground is still the same combat. So it's not it's not a new round of combat. It's the same round of combat. Yeah, it's just the same round of combat that's just extended.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's a good point. You're right. I think you're right, actually. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna play it. Unless something else I read. Jacob, did I miss anything? Is there something about that coming up?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, unless we read something otherwise, that's how I'll play it for now. If a unit, I just read that one. Can a unit upon which Earthen Ramparts has been cast make a counter charge reaction? No. Makes sense. Can the spell Spectral Doppelganger from the Lore of Illusion be used with a magic weapon that allows the wielder to make only a single attack? No. Oh, okay, good. Well, yeah, no, good. This only affects the Mace of Hellstrom, right?
No, there's also an ogre item and the fell blade from Skaven. There's a handful. Of
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's the same as
Fellblade
Hatred.
isn't single attack, but there's a handful of items, but it's a good change for the game.
Gormak and Brian, absolutely. Once you say it like that, absolutely. Hatred clearly wouldn't work, so the flail clearly wouldn't work. Yeah, you're right. You are right. We at the end here? Some models can be found in a faction army list that can be included in an army using a composition list belonging to a different faction. Dragon Ogre Shagouts, for example, can be found in the Beast and Brayherd army, while can be taken in army using the Warriors of Chaos Grand Army composition list. What list of magic items do these models have access to? Models can purchase magic items from the list of common magic items from the Warhammer rulebook, or from their own faction's magic item list. A Dragon Ogre Shagout, for example, can purchase items from common or beastmen. Really? That's not how I would have interpreted it, but fair enough. If you were playing Warriors of Chaos and you brought in a Shaggoth and you could bring 50 points of magic items, why would you think you used the Beastman magic items, not the Warriors of magic items? Yes, the charging statement of Lance in the first is the first in the resolve queue. Yeah. No, Kilgun. Yeah, you're good. Okay, so I don't have anything else downloaded, so give me a second while I set up something to look up the other.
You need a clean link to it.
I have to set up a Discord thing real quick, so bear with me. A bit of an interlude. We're gonna set up the next section. So hang out for a second. It'll be a bit of a. It could be like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 2 minutes tops. Josh, tell the audience about your day.
Well, my day, I just worked midnights and I came off, so still awake from that. And I'm just crushing out some Tomb Kings as we talk about this stuff. Working on my Ushapti as we speak.
Oh, I got so many Ushapti now.
Yeah, like I've been really looking at the Great Bow with them, and they seem like stupid good.
Yeah, I have 9 of those now.
Well, jeez. I mean, they're just cavalry monster killers at this point. It's insane.
You say that again.
And I've just had the 3D printer going constantly, just making terrain and whatnot for Old World. So it's been productive.
Oh, I have to get a new hot end for my P1P finally. It's been running for weeks straight, and I finally need one. How are we feeling about the FAQ so far? Any concerns?
I like it a lot. Like it definitely cleared up a lot of issues that we were constantly discussing and going over, and just I like the clarification. The lances being used again in fallback in good order. I like as well.
Yeah, fair. I'm actually. I'm good. I'm happy with that one.
I think my favorite thing about it is that it seems to be crafted with a old hammer / Warhammer Fantasy mindset, not a 10th Ed 40K mindset.
Fair. Well, that's why I and so many of us love it.
100%.
Yeah, this is by far, like, I really liked 8, and this is blowing 8 out of the water for me.
Yeah, I exactly. I feel the same. I loved 8. I wouldn't say it's the best edition. I loved 8. I think this is the best edition.
I do like the like, you're not throwing buckets of dice anymore. That is the one gripe I had with 8th. It's just there's just so many dice being thrown, whereas this reins it in and makes it a little bit more manageable and less crazy.
I think the FAQ feels clear. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with the FAQ so far. There was a couple of core things I thought I would like to have seen addressed. Like, what does did I mention drilled? Drew, it mentioned drilled. You can use drilled all the time. Charging, fall back in good order. Just use it. It's just all over the place. Way better than Heresy FAQ for sure. So the Legacy armies also got updates. I found a website that can compare old. Oh well, no, son, just stick with me and let me know what the differences. I think well, let's see how well I know them if I can call it the differences. Oh wait, are they like stealth changes?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, so I might need that. So there's one thing, okay. So does Stomp benefit for Armor Bane if the model has Armor Bane? That's not clarified.
Templates and Fanatics scattering isn't talked about.
True, but I'll say this again. That was the way it was explained to me by the staff at GW. While I was up at Warhammer the Old World, that's how they're playing it up there. So it probably should be in the FAQ, but I'm going to continue to play it that way because that's the way they explained it to me. And when they explain it to me, that makes sense by what they written in the book. I know not everybody agrees with that. You don't have to agree with that. You don't have to play it that way. Also, when Luke and I walk over spells, we take the damage. That is kind of a house rule because it just feels right.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that need addressed were like, what's the intent on Plague of Rust? And then what a weapon is, because not only does like Armor Bane apply to weapons, whatever, like does the Stomp get Armor Bane? Here's one that I'm overlooking into it because I don't believe this is the case, but spells aren't weapons. So spells like the summoning are AP2. They would ignore rules as I never caught this. Someone who's never played the game before reads this way. Spells like the summoning AP2 reduce ward save rules as written. I strongly don't believe that's the intent. No, I feel that's not the intent. So I want that addressed. We're not going to play it that way because I really don't believe that's the intent. But that's something that vortex are in constant motion, right? Alex Howard, that's my interpretation. Not everybody agrees with that interpretation, but the fact that the vortex is always in motion means that when you walk over it, you're taking the damage. But there's a divide, and I'm not here to say which side is right. I'm saying it is because we don't know the actual answer, we tend to rule the worst way, but Luke and I are actually ruling it the most negative, the most damaging way, because it's more fun. Anyways, let's do this. Oh wait, more chats. Can I tell you Skaven changes wording was changed mostly? You got hit by 3 nerf assets. Okay. Did the address fall back in good order into a line to make max attacks not being in? I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. Sent you a Discord DM with the link of the PDF reader. I don't have all the old PDFs, so I can't check them all myself. If I have an attachment unit that's making a supporting charge, can it redress the ranks first? If so, given that it works for regular charges, can any supporting unit get drilled? Trey? Is there a supporting unit? So this is Empire. Is there an Empire unit that can be a detachment, get drilled?
Swords.
Can they can't be detachment.
I think.
Nope. I'm pretty sure no. Check me.
Veteran state troops.
Can detachments be upgraded to veterans?
Double checking.
I never knew chaos states have countercharge. Yeah. Did the address Big Max?
Yes, veteran state troops can be detachment.
Interesting. So then the answer is yes. That's just off my cuff. I haven't really looked into it. The answer is probably yes. It seems they're very, very like drilled is a very powerful rule. Do your drilled. If you spend hours of your life drilling combat formations as an old 9th century warrior, I can tell you firsthand.
State missile troops also have drilled and can, be,
Sure.
can get drilled and have detachment.
Can I give a trebuchet drilled? I'll allow it, Flute Gnome, for free. All right, let's do the Ravening Hordes FAQ in errata version 1.0. Nothing. Wait, this is the first one. That's why this
is all new. Yeah, everything's new.
Okay. Add move through cover to the gigantic spider special rules. I did not notice it didn't have move through cover, and I played it like it did. Cool.
It's a spider. It should have move through cover. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Add countercharge to your Chaos Thieves list of special rules. Does that mean regular knights have countercharge now? I already closed off all my PDFs. I'm not going to look it up. Because they have Chaos Thieves, right?
Give me a moment, but probably.
Yeah, doesn't most cavalry just have countercharge? I could be wrong.
No.
I'm used to playing Bretonnia, so like everything has countercharge.
Knights Errant and Questing Knights don't have countercharge.
Oh, you are right. Yep.
Batman Stop isn't listed in the weapons section of the rulebook. Page 2. It doesn't get armor bane. Stomp attacks are special rule instead. Yeah, David Squid, with that interpretation, do spells like this with your interpretation, Devil Squid, that means spells like the summoning reduce ward saves with their AP, because the wording on ward saves, which is in the shooting section, tells you ward saves or armor saves that ignore the AP of weapons. The domino effect here, right? If you rule it's not a weapon, then you have to rule like the summoning spells aren't a weapon. So I think they're all meant. I think they're all meant to be air quote weapons. But Hell Cannon changed the base size 100 by 150. What was it before? I think I put mine on 100 by 150. That had to have been right.
I think it was 100 by 150, but they added the size for the handlers.
Oh, makes sense. Gifts of Chaos. For example, the strange attributes, some characters may be given gifts of Chaos. A gift does not affect the character's mount, should they have one. Each gift may be chosen once per army. Slaughterer's Call. If a model becomes frenzied as a result of a Blood Rage special rule, any unit it has joined also becomes frenzied. Perfect.
Nerf.
No, frenzy is good on infantry.
No. It was before. Was that if the unit was frenzied at all, the rest of the unit became frenzied. So if you had a spell that was able to make a frenzy or take an item that makes them frenzy, then the entire unit would go. Now it's specifically only through Blood Rage.
Boo. But probably, definitely for the better.
I mean, it's more themey that way for sure. So I get it.
Chaos mutations. Change the second paragraph of chaos mutations as follows. To represent the strange attributes, some models may be given chaos mutations. A mutation is not fit. Wait, that's just the same thing for Beastman. Okay. FAQ for the Ravening Hordes. And apparently I can't. Sorry, the experience of me cut off kind of weird. Orc and Goblin tribes. If a unit of Night Goblins is engaged in combat, still contains an unreleased fanatic, can they be released while the unit is engaged? Provided they can be placed within 3 of the concealed unit and not touching the base of other models. Yes, yeah, that's how I was playing it. I believe so anyway. If a fanatic moves in contact with a unit that is still engaged in combat, does it hit the unit in that unit engaging as well? Oh, I see what you're saying. When a fanatic moves in combat with another unit, it can use a straight line and be placed back in the battlefield. Any units that so exactly how we've been playing, I believe. I see some. I'm out of the corner of my eye. I see a little bit of attack about Linehammer. I wouldn't overly worry about Linehammer. Just about every TO will make a. Every TO will make a ruling on it. I think I'm seeing commonly is nothing past 10 models wide. And if you're playing somebody at a local store that doesn't want to do that, then it's not worth playing against them. Like if you don't want to play the same way as somebody else, don't play against that person. But it doesn't mean they're playing it wrong. Like let them play their way, you play your way, and find people you want to play with. I don't think Linehammer's going to be that big a deal.
Double checking my understanding on the Orcs and Goblins fanatic ruling there. does this mean that they only hit the unit that they actually pass over? So in
Yeah.
order to hit both units in a combat, you'd have to have the Fanatic actually pass over both units and not just one. So you could have a situation where 2 units are in combat and the Goblin Fanatic hits the opponent unit, but not the Orcs and Goblin unit.
Yep, that's how Luke and I have been playing it.
Just
What?
confirming that that's how we were understanding it. Makes sense.
The Blight Legionnaire Chaos Chariots gain countercharge as well, right? Ooh! Wait a minute. Blighted, can you double check the Warriors of Chaos if you could? I don't have a book here.
I'm looking.
Thank you.
They have Chaos Steeds.
Countercharge! Nice. I love me some Chariots, and Luca just can't get any luck with them, so this benefits me, not Luca. Which is what we're all here for, right?
Well, the chat seems to be rooting for Luca a lot.
I know. I'm the heel of my own channel, right? It's not great.
I mean, somebody's got to be the heel, I guess.
Where were we? All goblins fear elves. A unit of elves cause fear. Does that lead them to cause terror in goblins? Wait, why not? I don't like this ruling.
Stacking fear's not a thing? Come on.
That should be a thing. No, it's specifically the Chaos Steed on page 59, which is the character only mount. It's different from the regular Chaos Knight. Do they have Chaos Steeds? Oh, I see what you're saying, Sudden. Wait, okay, I have to go back up to the FAQ then. Only on page 59, Chaos Steeds. Yes, okay. Yes, thank you. Good point. And this is why we do this live.
Man, if that was the case where the chariot was able to get countercharge, that would have been nasty.
Yeah, for sure. The Chaos Steed on page 59 gains. Yeah, that's the characters.
So then, does anything
you, Hobo.
in Warriors of Chaos have countercharge?
Chosen Knights do, not the regular Knights.
Okay.
I believe. If a character with the mark of Nurgle, for example, is mounted on a chariot with the mark of Chaos undivided, does the chariot benefit from the character's mark, or do I have to pay the points to give the chariot the mark of Nurgle for it to gain the same benefit? If you want the chariot mount to have the same benefit as the mark of the rider, you have to pay for the points to give the chariot the mark of Chaos. That's, yeah, makes sense. They do, but the listing in the character section is, for example, a Tomb King on chariot doesn't have charioteers on his chariot. Sorry, I might be brain farting, so I'm not sure what you're saying by that. Can the Hag Tree Fetish be used to reroll wounds caused by a bound spell? No, bound spells cast by the item. Yeah, that's how I was playing it too. So just clarify that one. It's an item that allows the bearer to reroll wound rolls on magic missiles, basically. And then the Ruby Ring of Ruin is cast by the ring, not the. Yeah, that's how I was playing it. Wait, I think that's how I was playing it. Tomb Kings of Khemri. Can a Necrosphinx make more than one attack? He's showing tapping strike. No. Tomb Kings of Khemri Arcane Journal. The crew of the Tomb Guard chariots are equipped with shields. Does this improve the armor value of 4 up to 3 up? No, the chariot giving me a yeah. Okay. Nothing wild here. Okay.
Good clarifications, though.
Forces of Fantasy is next. Steam Cannon. This weapon does not have a 360 line of sight. It can only shoot into the steam tank's front arc. I don't understand the argument that people would have made that it did have a 360 degree arc. Oh, the steam cannon. Okay. That's because, so I was thinking that's not the cannon. That's the little tiny steam gun that uses the template on the top. In previous editions, it was like a little turret. It fired all the way around.
I thought. Hold on.
But yeah, it just templates are on the front arc of the things. So this is a perfectly fine ruling. I'm okay with this. I like it.
That's the steam cannon, or this is the steam cannon they're FAQing, not the steam gun.
Wait, which was the steam cannon?
The cannon is the cannon one.
Oh, like the actual physical ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, who argued that that thing can fire 360?
Great question. Don't know.
I wonder if they're trying to say because it's treated as a cannon that war machines can pivot. Maybe that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Well, war
but it's
machines
not
can
a.
all see 360 because they're all skirmishers.
But it's not a war machine; it's a chariot.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah,
you can
I
argue.
don't know.
There's
I
no
don't know
argument here, right? But it has to be. From now on, GW, I want a list of the names of the people. No, I'm kidding. Oh, Laurels of Victory directly addressed. Change the second blah blah blah. When determining their common result, each unsaved wound caused by the attack made by the bearer Laurels of Victory, but not their mount. Okay, good. They clarified it. Excellent.
Oh, hang on, wait. Drew. Steam Tank's a chariot, and chariots would have 360 line of sight, do they not? Is that maybe
yeah.
why they were?
Oh
addressing
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And the steam cannon just says
No.
fire like a cannon, so you'd pick a point.
Which is true because you could the barrel might be pointing this way, but you can like instead of firing straight forward, you can like, oh, here's the angle. I'll let me quote Luca. If it feels wrong, it's wrong. The wizard staff 0 to 1 per wizard. Yeah, yeah. That's the +1 to cast or +1 to spell thing for Empire.
He's carried 4 staffs, 1 in each hand.
Why
1 in each
not?
foot.
They're like javelins, right? We're getting there, Telkesh. We're getting there. Knightly virtues. To represent this, some models will be given the knightly virtue. Virtue does not affect the mount. Should have one. Yep. Combat result bonus. Change page 110. A unit that lands formation with a unit strength of 5 or more may claim the combat. Yes, beautiful. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're just updating it to what the new close order is, basically.
Iron Demon and Steam Engine got called out specifically to not allow. Iron Blasters did not. Oh, jeez. No, son. No. Elven honors. Change the second paragraph of Elven honors as follows. To represent this, some characters may be given Elven honors. Each honor given the character certain blah, blah, blah. Each honor gives the character certain benefits in a form of unique equipment and special rules. And honor does not affect model's mount. Should it have one? I don't know what we're writing there. Mechanic Grape Shot. Nico, my answer is... Oh, they didn't address that. They're not meant to. Right? They're just not meant to. Empire of Man question. Are unsaved wounds caused by a mount of a model bearing the Laurels of Victory worth 2 combat result points? They did that again?
Yeah, they clarified this twice to make sure you really got it.
They could have just put in parentheses, knock it off, Steve. Like, I could take the hit. Damn. They had to really drill home and put it in 2 places to make sure I didn't miss it. Kingdom of Bretonnia. Can a Bretonnian army pray for the Blessed Lady if it includes an allied contingent? Yes. Richard, I'm loving the FAQ so far, except for this whole slap in the face about the Laurels of Victory. How does a bolt thrower work when shooting at a unit in lance formation? Ooh. A number of models hit based on the number of ranks overall. Yeah. Nothing different there. One is an errata, one is an FAQ. Yeah, true, Gabriel. If a character whose mount is different base size to the if a character whose mount has a different base size to the model unit making up a lance formation wishes to join a unit, where should I place the model? The lance we're talking about probably here a damsel on a Pegasus joining a lance.
No, or even just because the Bretonnian war horses are bigger compared to what she's on. She's on a 25 by what is that?
No, she can buy either horse.
No, but they're saying that if you choose to take it as the war horse.
I can't see you ever not taking the war horse though.
I think this also clarifies allowing you to use the Royal Pegasus in a lance formation of Pegasus Knights.
Which I don't know if I ever would, but let's see if there's any reason why. If a character whose lance formation offers a bit of flexibility other than formation, okay, Bob. Oh, so just place it. Yeah, whatever. The rest of prayer questions answered important. Okay, so the rest of prayer is important. All right, so I'm gonna go back to that answer. The number of so going back to where is it? The first question under Bretonia. In order for Bretonnian army to pray, the army must be part. The army they are part of must have a blessing of the Lady Rule, which only Kingdom Bretonnian armies have. That's not relevant at all. Like that, I did not need to read that. Why are you making me read things that are not relevant? I have a question regarding base-to-base contact. I'm waiting in waiting room if you want to chat about it. Gage, is it about the FAQ? If it's about the FAQ, we'll bring you in. If it's not about the FAQ, that's for another stream. Let me know and I'll bring you in. Wait, the rest of prayer is important. What am I missing? Can the Bretonnian army pray for the blessing of the lady if it includes an allied contingent? Yes. However, that an allied contingent of Bretonnians taking part of any other army cannot pray. In order for Bretonnians to pray, the army must be part of the army they are part of must have the blessings of the lady. Yeah, but like that's
Are they talking about the like arcane journal armies, like mixing
no,
in
no, no,
with?
no. If you're playing Empire and you have an allied contingent of Bretonnians, you can't pray. But that's where why would you think that you could?
Hmm.
Am I missing some? You skipped the relevant part. I must be missing something. Hold on. Allied contingent. Oh, the opposing. I'm missing a word. Note, however, that an allied contingent in Bretonnian's army, in order for Bretonnians to pray, the army they are part of must have the blessing of the rule, which only the kingdom of Bretonnia armies have.
So what this is saying
I'm
is
not understanding.
that if you take allies in a Bretonnian army,
Yeah.
the Bretonnian portion can pray.
Yeah.
But if you take Bretonnians as allies to another army, that army or that allied contingent can't.
Correct.
That seems pretty clear.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
am I missing? If you have an Empire ally, you can't pray? Is that what it's saying?
Oh,
Can a
somebody in chat
Bretonnian
saying that
army
it clarifies that it also like your opponent can't take a Bretonnian contingent and break it. I'm not sure how that would work.
I am not, honestly, there's like three of you pointing stuff out, and I'm not following what you're trying to say. This one is just, I'm not seeing this one. Mostly because I don't care about allies. I don't care about allies. Note that, however, an ally contingent of Bretonnians taken as part of their army cannot pray. Yeah. In order for the Bretonnians to pray, the army must be part. The army they are part of must have the blessing. Of course. Like, I don't understand. Empire factions taking Bretonnian contingents can't stop. No, you're just saying the opposite.
So this may be wrong, but you can't take exiles to be a contingent of a normal Bretonnian army, can you?
I think you can.
So maybe that's what we're talking about. Is they're just saying that because the original army the main army has the blessing of the lady, and they cannot. I don't know how to explain this. That they cannot get the blessing because they're exiles. I don't know.
No, so what's coming up in YouTube chat is people were claiming that if your opponent took Bretonnian allies, they turned off your army rule because not all of the Bretonnians had the capacity to pray.
Correct.
Because there was a section of Bretonnians on the board that were not under the blessing of the lady. Therefore, the Bretonnians in general were not under blessing of the lady. Therefore, you couldn't pray with your army.
Well, the rule was the lady won't favor one side or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, Sudden. Sorry, I'm bringing Sudden in. Sudden, explain. You here, brother?
I think someone just explained it basically, but previously there was an argument that if you brought an allied contingent of Bretonia, you would turn off any opposing Bretonnian armies.
Yes.
This is saying that that's not the case because the allied contingent
does not. I'm with you. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm with you. Gotcha. Thank you.
That's basically the whole thing. It's also important because you'll see they reiterate this with special rules and armies and contingents, which could be important for.
Well, I know there was not an argument, but there was a thing that one of the original events Luca went to, where a person was playing exiles against regular Bretonnians who doesn't get to pray, doesn't get the blessing of the lady, and they're like, you can't pray either because I'm exiles, and like everyone was like, yeah, I guess that's correct.
Yeah, and this basically clarifies that you need to be an actual Kingdom of Bretonnia army with the lady blessing of the lady rule to pray.
I'm telling you,
It's only checking your army, not your opponent's army.
yeah, okay. Thank you for clarifying that. That was not clear to me, but makes sense now.
All good.
When a unit in lance formation engaged, when a unit in lance formation is engaging in combat, every model on the outside counts as being in base contact. How many enemy models count as being base contact with the lance? The full fighting rank, beautiful. When the lance charges, it pierces deep into the enemy formation, causing enemy. Oh, this is just italic stuff. Yeah, perfect. I'm happy they answered that one. The Waystacker can't use the ruby ring. Good, Scott. Good. I never would have allowed it anyway. Widow Frowns. The Hawkeye. Oh, sorry, it's the next one. The Hawkeye Archer special rule allows the Waystacker to target enemy characters it can draw a line of sight to target specific models with an enemy unit. Blah blah blah. Does this apply to magic items that allow them to cast magic missile? So there's a rule for the Hawk. Sorry, it's the Waystacker. It's the rule called Hawkeye Archer. Allowed basically rules as written to use a Ruby Ring of Ruin to target enemy characters. And that's not good. I have a question regarding this. Gage, okay, you in? You are here. All right, Gage, you're here. Hit me.
So regarding this, are we in full contact with the lance, or can we target any character that is on the outside of the lance? Can we direct all of our attacks?
I think. Okay, so I don't know how to. Okay, so just be careful how if I sound like aggressive when I say this. I think you're conflating two rules, but if I'm wrong, point it out. So the character. Wait, I'm gonna read the exact ruling. The lance formation. Every model on the outside of the counts as being in base contact with the enemy fighting rank.
Mm-hmm.
But no models are actually in base contact with the character, right? So nobody gets to attack the character, is my interpretation.
That's my interpretation as well, but it's currently.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I don't think you should be able to put your. You can put a Bretonnian. I will never do. I can say, well, I don't know. You can make a very killy Bretonnian character, forego all defensive magic items, and just put him behind the banner, and now he's just like doing his thing.
Right.
I don't think that's great, but at the same time, I'm gonna do it.
Everyone gets full attacks, but you can't really put them into a specific target then.
Now, can you make a rules as written argument that every model in the fighting rank put their attacks into that character? That's actually even worse. I hate that interpretation even more.
Me too. Just wanted to see where you were at with it and kind of what everyone else says in there as well.
Fair. Linehammer is not real. And anybody who's in the chat does not have to leave so long as you guys aren't talking over other people. So you feel free to. Oh wait, hold on a second. Cormac, what do you got? He's got nothing. Okay. If the character is on the outside of the lance, and it can be targeted for sure. Why do you say for sure?
It's talking about the fighting rank. It doesn't say that all models on the outside of the lance are in base-to-base contact with the entire fighting rank. It says the whole fighting rank is targeting the lance.
Yeah, that's my interpretation.
So that applies to the unit, which I think most people are playing the game anyways. I think very few people are like dividing tax into characters in front of them. I think that's more of like a high level question that could like use another FAQ for like a TO. But
yep.
I think it doesn't affect most people who are playing this game who just roll dice.
If you look at the italics, the intent here, they're driving deep. It's not like every model in enemy fighting rank is not meant to be putting their attacks on that character, but like people are gonna argue it. Matthew Willis, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you what are we getting there, or is this a question I missed? If a unit with a stupidity special rule, like cold ones, fails a test, but they move towards the enemy unit within their range, they count as a charge or end close to the unit. So that's an old rule. That's not in this edition. So no longer you just move 0 to as many inches that you have in your movement characteristic for stupidity. It just means you lose control of the unit. They can move 0 or up to their movement characteristic, but they are not charging. They're not getting a base contact. If you have anything to dispute that, by all means point it out. I'm stoked to hear an argument.
I think on the lance formation and contact thing, I don't know what the answer is with this FAQ specifically, but what the answer is going to end up being is they're just going to have you put all characters in as close to the tip of the lance as you can.
Now that will supersede core rules of the game, where
Right.
the command malls must be in the center of the unit.
If you look at their discussion over the lance formation and the base size, they specifically talk about putting your character at the tip.
Hang on, wait.
A lance formation offers a bit more flexibility than other formations. For example, it is perfectly acceptable to place a character such as a duke or a baron at the front of the lance, should you wish. In the case of Handmaids of the Lady, the shield. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
So
shield
what's
the
gonna
lady.
happen, if that becomes a problem, is they're just going to say fighty characters have to go on the tip because they're proud and they want to lead the charge or something like that?
I don't
Until
think
then,
I
that's
don't think they will address it again.
So can I just bring something up?
Yeah.
So if you read Shield of the Lady, it says that should they do so, so if you want to retire her away from combat, should they do so, they are no longer within the fighting rank and cannot make any attacks or have attacks directed against them. So by reading that, it means that if you are in the fighting rank, you should be able to have attacks directed against you, whereas if you are in the lance formation on the outside, you count as being in fighting rank, no?
Interesting. I actually don't know the answer now. I have no idea how to. I will play it where I will not direct attacks at my my opponent's characters, and you know what? We have officially just implemented a Luca rule here. What does your gut tell you? You're not meant to attack the character if they're not in base contact.